welcome to the Gradual Report. My name is Danny. Today, how I lost my virginity. Because in this day and age, nothing is sacred.
Welcome to the Gradual Report, where we gradually report.
I wouldn't really call it a loss of virginity so much as a loss of childhood innocence. In the summer of 2002, I was 17. No, actually, I was 22.
That's a long time to be a virgin, isn't it?
Fuck you! I don't listen to peer pressure. I do what I want with my body, which was abstinence. Don't judge! So, I was 22, and my cousin Michael and I went to Paris for the summer. We got a very inexpensive hotel room, which happened to be in a very bad neighborhood. And the bad neighborhood was on what I like to call Sex Shop Street. And for those of you that are in Paris, you know what I'm talking about. There was a street, I think it's Avenue 34, or 69, I don't know. 69 seems more appropriate, but probably 34. Where there was just a bunch of XXX, little tool sheds. For the Australians in the audience. And let me just, little side note, little to the side. If I could just asterisk here, footnote, come back to it later, but I gotta say this now. How many black dildos does Paris need? I mean, really? There was like 37 little shops on this tiny little street, and each shop had exactly 2 shelves, and each shelf had like 9 giant black dildos on it. And I'm thinking to myself, 37 shops, 2 shelves, 9 black dildos, that's like 2,387 giant dildos for sale at any given time on this one street in Paris. Now, what kind of demand has to be going on in that area to be able to keep those doors open? You know what I mean? It's the French. They like and So, you know, I no judge. I just say what is. What is? So Mikey and I are walking down the street, and we see a 1987 Pamela Anderson chickadoo. You know what I mean? Yes, she was hot. And yes, she was wearing a trench coat, beige in color, with a burgundy trim and golden buttons. To make a very long story even longer, Mikey and I decided to go into this little sex shop and talk to her pimp. Very terrorist looking man with a single eyebrow, you know what I mean? One of those durka individuals. So we're looking at these pictures, which is I guess of a type of a menu. And the chick that was standing outside is in this menu, which is a series of pornographic scenes. I look over at Mike and I say, Michael, I am a virgin and I do not wish to remain so. And Mike said to the guy in his very eloquent Chicago speak, yo, how much? And the guy was like, $30 gets you a room. What happens in the room, I don't know, but $30 gets you the room. And Michael, in his very Chicago way, said, yo, I got this. So I'm like,
I will not disappoint you, sir!
So I go up to the room. In she comes. She takes off her clothing. It was a golden chair with a red velvet pillow. And I look into the pillow and I think, this is a pillow which no one has sat in before. But I was wrong. I mean, it was very dirty, disgusting. I probably have hepatitis from sitting on the pillow. Not gonna lie to you, it was gross. So she starts doing her little, negotiation. So she says to me, you want blowjob? You want sex?
Yes, please, put me down for 2 of each. Yeah.
Right? So she's like, I don't know what she said, something $500. Do you take Visa? She brings out a little machine and goes, bzz, 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 bzz. I sign, and I sit down, and I'm thinking, here comes the sex. Here comes the sex. And we're sitting there, and she starts doing these motions, these dances, these body touching herself motions. And I'm going there, yeah! And after about 15 minutes, she's like, still doing what she's doing. And I'm still sitting in this chair, and I'm still wondering what's going on. So I go, look, I hate to interrupt you in what you're doing. It looks like you're having a fantastic time. But I was thinking a little, blowjob. What about that? What if I just said blowjob? I'm just going to put it out there. And whatever comes to your mind, when's that going to happen? She goes, oh, you want a blowjob? And I went, yes, that's what I paid for, I think. Thus, 500. So I'm thinking, I'm already in it. Let's do this. Give her the visa again. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. We move into a nicer room. This room has a bed in it. I'm thinking, yes, a bed in it. So she directs me to another chair. This chair is even grosser. It's not even velvet. It's just kind of a folding chair with a rusty seat. She has me take my clothes off, which I'm all too happy to do at this point because I'm 1,000 in the hole and I'm thinking I'm gonna lose my virginity to this whore in Paris that looks like Pamela Anderson from 1987 Baywatch. You know, I'm sorry. She looks at me and she says, excitation? And I'm like, yeah, sweetheart, I'll get it started for you. Here we go. I happen to be very good at this. I happen to be a professional. Some might say this is all I do. And she starts doing her little thing on the bed, all these little delightful little positions and what have you. Things that you only see in magazines and on the internet. Then she takes out this dildo and starts blowing this dildo. And that's when it hits me. That's what the $1,000 was for. To watch this chick blow a dildo. And I came. Woo!
Great story, Danny!
And now a brief message from the man in the mask. If you can learn from his mistakes, then perhaps they were worth making. Oh my gosh, who was that? What did he say? I bet it was important. It is hard to reverse a credit card charge. I will tell you that much. Hi, Visa? Yeah, I bought something and it wasn't described accurately and it wasn't delivered as promised. So I was wondering if I could just stop payment on that. Sign an affidavit? Really? Sure! I didn't lie. She did.